Purim has ended, and Pesach is in front of us, coming quite early. It'll be this year on a Friday night, March 27th, I believe, and then the first day, March 28th, which is to say, Purim, Pesach. Yossi Klein Halevi, one of our most engaging writers about life living in Israel, says that there are two kinds of Jews, Purim Jews and Pesach Jews. He explains, there are two key commandments identified with each of these two celebrations, two holidays. On Purim, we read about Amalek. Zachor et asher asa lechem Amalek. Torah writes, remember what Amalek did to you. In that case, the command of memory is the command to recall how Israel was attacked by an enemy attacking the people in the desert from the rear, the children and the women. And so he says, the Purim Jew is the Jew who is commanded to remember not to be naive, that there is danger in the world, that there are those who would do evil. Pesach is identified with memory also. Zachor shahayita avadim be'eretz Mitzrayim. Remember that you were slaves in the land of Egypt. Remember what it was like to be oppressed. And often that command is identified with taking care of the widow, the orphan, and the stranger. And so the Pesach Jew, Yossi Klein Halevi says, is the one who remembers, who hears the command not to be abusive, to be kind and considerate for the other, the stranger. His own writing about Purim Jews and Pesach Jews was in the context of relating to the land of Israel. He says that all too often, people are one or the other. So that in relation to the land of Israel, there's the sense of, remember what Amalek did to you. Don't be naive. The Palestinians, the Arabs, they are our enemy. And on the other hand, there is the Pesach Jew who says, recall that you were slaves in the land of Egypt. The Arab, the Palestinians, remember not to abuse, to honor their dignity too. And all too often, he says, the Purim Jew and the Pesach Jew are unable to speak to each other. And he cautions that that only leads to a division of our people, but more, being either a Purim Jew or a Pesach Jew means to be out of balance with living in the reality before us. Ribono Shel Olam, Master of the universe, may we live a life of remembering not to be naive, of remembering that we were slaves. May we learn to balance the need for kindness and self-preservation, not only in relation to the land of Israel, but in how we live our lives. May we have the wisdom to live with balance. Amen.